Oh, I'm not going to lie to you, folks. The last thing I wanted to do this morning was go live and talk about my absolute shambles of an FPL team. I don't mean to sound ungrateful. I absolutely love doing this. I absolutely love interacting with you all in the chat. We've got loads of people in here. I've had a fucking disaster in FPL this week. I'll probably get demonetized for swearing in the first 30 seconds of the show. I don't care. It's been a disaster. I played my free hit and I've not even bothered to check because I can't bring myself to do it. But I genuinely think the team that I had with Gabriel injured, Semenyo not starting, and the bench options I had in my team if I made no transfers would have done better than my free hit team this week. It is what it is, right? This is the game of FPL. We have bad weeks, we have good weeks. It is what it is. And in the FPL Cartel Discord, which we'll talk about the FPL Cartel in a second, I was saying, remind me going into this game week that I was content with the players that I picked and the decision that I made. And that's why I go back to, I was happy with the team as we went into the week. And it's, for me, you might disagree. I think it's a case of decision I'm happy with, bad outcome. And I think that's what's happened this week. So here we are. Here's my team. So we're on a red arrow. My first red arrow, I think, for probably a couple of months. So, you know, in the context of how my FPL season has gone, it's not that bad at all. And ultimately, it could have gone a lot worse with this team as well. So I'm on 28 points. This is the free hit team that I picked. My logic behind free hitting was I had 3 players in my team that I thought were injured. I had Gabriel, I had Semenyo, and I had Enzo Fernandez. Those were 3 players that I didn't want in my team. And there were also players that were missing from my team that I wanted coverage from. So one of them being Brian Mbumo. I had no real easy route to buy him with transfers. And I wanted Igor Thiago as well. I fancied him to score against Brighton. He obviously missed a penalty. He scored. If he scored the 2 penalties, I think I'd be in a better place. And I think I was very tempted to go for Munoz in my defence instead of Ismail Assar and play a back 4. That didn't turn out for me. So as FPL Tom, good to see you in the chat, my mate. As he says, I think I've been hit very heavily with variance this week in my team as well. But I think things could have gone a lot worse, right? I thought game week 12 would be a difficult game for Man City away at Newcastle. This is a theory I have, and I think it came to fruition. Some people heavily disagreed with me on it. I wouldn't say on my YouTube live chat or anything like that, but particularly on TikTok and Instagram reels that I made, not backing Haaland against Newcastle got me quite a lot of hate. And I'm quite glad that I didn't do it because I think what I said, the adage I said came true, right? Newcastle upping their level at home and competing, keeping clean sheets and doing really well against anyone at home when they fancy it. That came to fruition. They played well, made it difficult for Man City, and Haaland didn't do anything. So I think the one piece of solace I guess I can take is that the decision not to captain Haaland and that being one of the drivers between my free hit is one of the reasons that I think I can take solace from my decision. So yeah, we'll go through the team quickly. So we had Petrovic, 1-pointer. Bournemouth defence, I backed them against West Ham, but they're shite, aren't they, the Bournemouth defence at the moment. 4-goal ship to Villa before the international break. I thought that was a bit of a one-off, I got to say. I thought, West Ham, they're not going to score. They're going to struggle to score against Bournemouth. Lo and behold, Callum Wilson with a brace. We had Chris Richards, did keep a clean sheet, to be fair. Mukiele is my other centre-half. I couldn't have afforded anyone else. I had to go down to Mukiele because I couldn't afford anyone else, but in my original team was Joachim Andersen, who obviously won against Sunderland, kept a clean sheet, and I'm pretty sure got DEFCON as well. So he came away, I think, with a 10-pointer. Oh, it's painful that. But I don't think anyone, personally, did anyone really foresee Fulham beating Sunderland and also keeping a clean sheet yesterday? I think that's quite, I don't know. I would have personally had Sunderland as my favourites going into that game. So I count myself sort of unlucky with that call. I captained Salah against Nottingham Forest. I know it's probably a mad decision in some people's mind, but I did just have some sort of hope that Liverpool would at least score a goal against Nottingham Forest at home. That obviously didn't happen. I didn't watch the game, but it sounded like Salah was absolute pants in that one. Ismail Assar, I went for him over Munoz. I just had a feeling that Sarr would be better than Munoz. That didn't work out, did it? Munoz scored and kept a clean sheet. Disgusting. I also, as a result, didn't have Enzo Fernandez, who I transferred out on my free hit. He obviously scored and got bonus points. I've still got Bruno Fernandes and Mbumo to play. I think Mbumo is going to be so popular around my rank now that whatever he does probably won't impact my team. But I do think Bruno Fernandes, whatever he does, could really impact my team. So basically, I think any hopes of me salvaging this game week rest in the hands of Bruno Fernandes. And I've got to say, I'm quite confident about Bruno Fernandes against Everton. We had Thiago. I mean, we've got him in the chat. FPL Tom did some fantastic analysis. My FPL Cartel partner did some fantastic analysis in terms of Premier League teams and their ability to win penalties. And Brentford are ridiculous at winning penalties, and that was further proven yesterday. 2 penalties they had against Brighton. Obviously, Thiago scored one of them, missed the other. So, by the way, in my FPL team in the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 missed penalties. Ridiculous. Mateta, 1-pointer. I don't want to talk about him. And obviously, Haaland blanking against Newcastle. And, of course, Rowan, I had Saka in my regular FPL team pre-free hit. I'm terrified about what Arsenal could do this week. I don't have any Arsenal defence. I don't have Saka. I'm hiding behind the sofa for that 4:30 kickoff against Tottenham. 2 seconds. I just need to blow my nose. All right, that was cathartic. Chatting about my team, having a little vent. I hope you can understand my pain, but also I'm trying to put a spin on things in the sense that I think I've gotten quite unlucky this week, and I'll take on the chin. You know, I'm happy to take a red arrow on the chin. I've had far worse things happen to me in my life than a red arrow in Game Week 12 in FPL. What I'll do now is take a look at you guys. So, sorry, I've missed the chat and saying hello to people. I've seen FPL Tom in here and a few others. But if you let me know how many points you got this week, how many players you got left to play, and what your overall rank is, we'll have a quick chat with you about your teams, and then next part will be going through the games. We can talk about the games in players that did well, players that didn't do so well, etc., etc. Rowan has got 29 with 4 left on a 300k green arrow. Okay, so you got a 300k green arrow with 29 points. Okay, Saka is blanking. God, I hope so. 33 points for weekend fix with Saka and either Calafiori or Hartman's 1-pointer to come. I think Calafiori might play. Mihir, 58 with 4 to Plasker 8 going. 32 points for Andrew, 240k overall. Had Anderson bench from Fulham. I don't think benching Anderson was a bad decision. I personally felt Sunderland would score in that game. Fulham are a funny team. Fulham and Brighton are 2 funny teams in the Premier League where they win games you don't expect them to and then just not show up in others. Kevin, 49 with 2 to play. Good going, mate. Andy, 25 so far, 3 to play. Lalix, 35 with Saka, Bruno, Timber. Good place to be. Saka captain terrifies me, ladies and gents. I bet if you've got a Saka captain, you're excited this week. Yeah. We'll see what Saka does. Good evening from Australia, 2 to play, Saka captain and Timber, 31 points so far, 2.9 million overall, good going, mate. Up from 509, bloody hell, 133k, good for you. Yeah, oh, mate, Sammy, I get you. I've had 3 missed penalties in 2 weeks in my team. Across this season so far, I think I've experienced 5 missed penalties in 12 game weeks. So basically, every other game week, a player of mine misses a penalty. Saka buy if he bangs, but Chelsea next week. I think Saka is a don't buy, don't sell, isn't he, for Chelsea? Owning Saka but not as captain, yeah, you want him to do well, mate. Absolutely. I think just owning him is good. I know you did, Soros. Oh, mate, I don't want to talk about it, bro. That was painful, wasn't it? I'd have had... I don't even want to think about it, how many more points I would have had if I went for Munoz and Anderson. There you go, mate. It's the nature of the game. I appreciate your advice. Sorry I didn't listen to it. Should we have a look at the games then? So we had quite a lot of action yesterday, didn't we? We had Chelsea against Burnley. There was a bit of interesting chat around who Chelsea would start in that game. So I had Enzo Fernandez in my original fantasy team. I was of the mind that Enzo, given that they've got Barcelona and Arsenal this week, and Enzo was obviously injured, I thought that maybe he wouldn't be risked today, but it turned out that Caicedo was the one that wasn't risked, and Enzo Fernandez went on to score a goal and get 3 bonus points. Another comment I'd have about Chelsea, a few people were suggesting that I pick Garnacho on my free hit. He obviously didn't start, I don't believe. I don't think Garnacho started. No, it didn't even come on by the looks of it. No. For me, the entire Chelsea attack, aside from Enzo, Caicedo, if you can even count them as Chelsea attack, and João Pedro and probably Palmer, you just don't know who's going to start. So I'd stay completely clear of them. Any talking points from that game other than the Enzo Fernandez goal? Obviously, Chelsea kept a clean sheet. You know, their defenders, they've done all right recently. 3 consecutive clean sheets for Rob Sanchez, of course. 4 in his last 5 games. But they have had some good fixtures in that time. Forest, Sunderland, Tottenham, Wolves, Burnley. The fixtures for Chelsea do turn. They've obviously got Arsenal with 13. Leeds, Bournemouth, Everton, Newcastle, Villa, Bournemouth, Man City. The fixtures don't look great going forwards for Chelsea, do they, to be fair? So will the clean sheets continue? Probably not. I don't have much more to say on that game, to be honest. I don't have much more to say. Partly Benji, I couldn't afford them. That's why I didn't get them. We've obviously got Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2. Goals for Bournemouth came from Tavernier. That was a player that I had in my free hit draft at one point for a penalty. Ulal scored and 2 goals for Callum Wilson. Senesi got an assist, a yellow card, and he missed defensive contributions. He only got 5. I guess the main talking point, 2 talking points from that game for me. Semenyo not in the team at all. Apparently he was ill. I think he's recovered from the ankle issue that Iraola was worried about. It sounds like he picked up an illness which actually kept him out of the game. Should you believe that? Obviously the news came out in the last couple of weeks of him having a £65 million release clause in January as well. So there's multiple factors around Semenyo, but I do think he's probably going to be fine to play Gameweek 13. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Other talking point about Bournemouth is obviously Senesi is a defensive contributions monster, one of the most popular defenders in the game with his ownership, 26.9%. But Bournemouth, they are not performing very well defensively at all, are they? Let's be honest. I mean, recent results. How do we look at results? Hang on 2 seconds. Where's Bournemouth to look at their results? So, recent results for Bournemouth. 2 goals conceded to West Ham, 4 goals conceded to Villa, 3 goals conceded to Man City. Beat Nottingham Forest 2-0. 3 goals conceded to Crystal Palace. 1 goal conceded to Fulham, 2 conceded to Leeds. They're not that solid defensively, and I don't know why I bothered with double Bournemouth defence, to be honest. But those would be the 2 talking points from me. I'd probably stick by Senesi because of the DEFCON points. But ultimately, they're not very good, are they, defensively, Bournemouth? Next game was Brighton and Brentford. 2 main talking points. 3 main players I'd like to talk about actually from that game. Welbeck and Minte from Brighton. Another player that I had in my free hit team for about 5 minutes was Jakub Minte. 11 points for him. 2 assists from 0.16 expected assists. But he seems to be sort of Brighton's talisman this season, let's be honest. And obviously Danny Welbeck. 6.5 million. He's got 8 Premier League goals, 7 Premier League goals from 9 starts. So he's obviously having a good season. He's scored 5 goals in his last 5 games. He's, I think, Brighton's penalty taker. He's played good minutes recently, but I do think with the fixture congestion that's about to occur in the Premier League, there's going to be one game where he's left out. I just don't see him playing all the games. So that would be my overall thoughts on Welbeck. I think I'd much prefer Igor Thiago from Brentford. He's going to play 90 minutes every game. And Brentford, as correctly pointed out by my good mate FPL Tom, they are absolutely ridiculous when it comes to winning penalties. How many penalties has Thiago had this season? I mean, does it say penalties? Penalties saved. Penalties missed. Does it say? Someone in the chat can tell me how many penalties Thiago has had. but he is good from open play too. I think he's my pick of those sort of sub 7 million strikers. And I would also add sort of fuel to that argument with those strikers of that price point, in the sense that I would suggest that Welbeck and Thiago are better than the midfielders that cost the same money, if that makes sense. So I think basically the best team in FPL right now probably has Haaland, Mateta, and one of Igor, Thiago and Welbeck up front, and 4 in midfield, or even 3 in midfield and 4 in defence. That's what that's what I think could be the case. That probably concludes my comments on that game. Then we had Fulham 1, Sunderland 0. I mean, main talking point is, for me, that was a real shock result. I did not see Fulham winning that game and keeping a clean sheet. The goal came from Jimenez, who looked like he was pretty dangerous in that game. In fact, numbers put up this season by Jimenez, not too bad at all. We've obviously got Josh King, who is making a real impact for Fulham. I think he's probably one of their best players. Played 63 minutes yesterday. He's only 4.5 million. So again, that further, I think, backs up the 4-3-3 or 3-4-3 formation in the game, in the sense that your fifth midfielder, you've got a pickable asset here in Josh King that could just fill that role, I think. Oh, Sunderland, not a whole lot of talking points from them. Roofs at one point was on for a good score, but obviously then they conceded. Joachim Andersen picking up 15 defensive contributions, a clean sheet and bonus point. Yeah, he got 2 bonus. Mukiele got defensive contribution points as well. I think of those dirt cheap defenders, Mukiele is the best, isn't he? Even with tough fixtures coming up, I'd probably still pick him. Good goal threat. I think he's averaging, what's that? 0.14 XGI per 90 is not amazing, but in the context of his position, he's probably one of the leading players in the league for goal threat for a sort of almost centre-half kind of defender. So yeah, that's that game. We had Liverpool losing 3-0 to Nottingham Forest. I was about to say, who could have seen that coming? But I think there are probably a fair few people who could have seen Liverpool struggling in that game. I didn't think Liverpool would be amazing, but I did think they'd win the game. Yeah, Murillo, who is the top scoring player in FPL this week so far. Gibbs White and Savona with the goals. People talking about Gibbs White as an FPL option. I mean, look at his XGI per 90 in recent games. 0, 0.07, 0.02. He has done barely anything this season. Oh no, it's Murillo. What am I looking at? Sorry, forgive me. It's still... Oh, actually, it's not too bad, but I still don't think I'd pick him at that price point. Forgive me, I clicked on Murillo when I was trying to get up Gibbs White's stats. Anything really to talk about there? Murillo obviously had a really good game. Have we seen enough yet from the Forest defence to consider them back on the menu? They did do really well for defensive contribution points. So Murillo 19, Williams 18, Milenkovic 13. Elliot Anderson is one of the leading players in the game for it. So he got 13.06 per 90 so far this season. And I think he's due. He got an attack and return goal and assist in his last 2 games. I feel like he's been due for a little while. Obviously scored the penalty. Yeah, Forest maybe back on the menu. I'd want to see a bit more from them first, I think. Liverpool, there's nothing to say on Liverpool really, is there? I would just completely steer clear of all of their assets, to be honest with you now. I think their fixtures look good going forwards, but after losing 3-0 at home to Nottingham Forest, I don't think you can back them at all. I wouldn't want an attacker from their team. The only player I'd consider is Virgil van Dijk, and even then, I don't think he's good enough to be picking. Yeah, they are poor, aren't they, Liverpool, at the moment? Really poor. Any more to say on that? I don't think so. Palace with a 2-0 win against Wolves. I was, as a multiple Palace player owner, a little bit worried about whether Wolves would have a new manager bounce under Rob Edwards. That didn't happen. Goals from Munoz and Jeremy, so Munoz absolutely clean in house. He did get a yellow card, but he scored, kept a clean sheet for a 14-pointer, maxed out bonus as well. Defensive contributions were low in that game, so Munoz was 1 off. Lacroix and Richards both getting 8, so no bonus points for them. Many talking points from that game, maybe? I guess in terms of defensive performing teams, Crystal Palace are one of the leading defences in the league. That's probably the main takeaway from that, I guess. Newcastle, a shock result? I don't know. I didn't think this was a massive shock, to be honest. I do just feel, historically, over the last few seasons, there are two stadiums in the Premier League that have a real aura about them in terms of how their teams play there at home. One of them is probably Anfield, and the other is definitely St James's Park. I just have a feeling that Newcastle, and I'll repeat this again, at home can win, keep a clean sheet, make it difficult for anyone that comes to St James's Park. And that's exactly what they did yesterday. The 2 goals, 2 assists came from Harvey Barnes and Bruno Guimaraes. Man City, they created chances, don't get me wrong. Foden had a few chances. Ruben Diaz obviously scored their goal. A scrap, wouldn't say it was a good finish, but a sort of scrappy set piecey sort of goal. That was all they were able to put past. Newcastle in the end, but they did have chances. Both teams, by the sounds of it, had chances. Max bonus obviously went to Harvey Barnes. I wouldn't consider him an FPL pick, though, to be honest, although I do think he's probably displaced Anthony Gordon in the team for coming game weeks. And then the other debate, I guess, is whether we should buy any Man City players. And honestly, I think the answer to that question is no. I'm pretty sure, I think the number probably went down yesterday, but I'm pretty sure, where's Haaland? There he is. 0.98 XGI in that game, so probably should have scored. Still ridiculous numbers for him, isn't it? He's still over 1 XGI per 90. He is just, it's not a one-man team, Man City, but it's just another stat that my good mate FPL Tom said. So full credit to FPL Tom. Make sure to check out his channel. But Haaland has accumulated, I think, well over 50% of Man City's XG this season, which basically suggests none of the attackers are even remotely close to his level. And with the nature of Pep Roulette, I don't think there's any other attackers you could back to play every game. And the same probably applies to the defence. I think O'Reilly, Diaz, Guardiola 3, and obviously Donnarumma 3 that you consider. But I spoke about this on my buy and avoid video. Yes, they might be playing for Man City, but they're not necessarily keeping clean sheets, and they're nowhere near defensive contribution points. So those people considering Man City options, Donnarumma's probably the only one outside of Haaland I consider, because the defenders don't necessarily keep clean sheets and they don't necessarily get DEFCON, and that's obviously a put off for Donnarumma as well if they don't keep clean sheets. So yeah, what do you reckon? That was a little run through of the games, wasn't it? I've currently got 350 people watching this morning. Everyone must be loving the thumbnail of me having a disaster. If I could ask, please. Leave a like rating on the stream. We're on 34 likes at the moment. We've got 350 people watching at the moment. So if you could leave me a like rating, I'd really appreciate it. Let's see if we can get up to 100 likes. Hopefully we can do that with the people that we've got on board at the moment. And if you haven't already and you're new around here, please subscribe. You can, if you want to take part in the chat, all you have to do is subscribe. Obviously totally free, and it really helps the channel as well. I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help to do it. So if there's any way we could, you could help me do that by hitting the like button and subscribing, I'd really appreciate that. I just also wanted to mention, we'll move on to the quiz in a second, the FPL Cartel, ignore my rank, that's last week's rank. Myself and my good mate FPL Tom have started the FPL Cartel. It's an exclusive group of like-minded FPL players led by the two of us. It's all managed in a Discord, so basically the Discord is an open FPL discussion where you can ask the both of us about your FPL team, just have general FPL chat, and obviously you can lean on the two of us for FPL advice. We're also doing an exclusive weekly podcast only available to the FPL Cartel. If you're interested in that, hearing more from me on an exclusive basis alongside FPL Tom, you can join the FPL Cartel using the link in the description below. Using the link in the description below, you'll get your first month totally free. So it's basically a trial. If you don't like it, you can obviously cancel. We have take no offense to that, but it just gives you an idea of what you're getting for free for the first month. Excuse me. Got so excited about the cartel, I choked then. Right, quiz time. Does anyone want to do a quiz? Let's do a quiz. Who is, ladies and gentlemen, the top scoring player in Game Week 12 so far? We'll finish the stream with a quiz. Murillo. I think everyone knows the answer to this one, don't they? The answer is Murillo. It says 11, it's 12. 17 points for Murillo. He is the top scoring player this game week. Can anyone guess? So the players that I'm going to share here that you have to guess are relevant for game week 12. So can anyone guess who this is? I'm just going to blow my nose while I do this. I've got, for some reason, my nose has been really blocked on this stream. The answer is Harvey Barnes. So well done, everyone that said Harvey Barnes. We had a few. Well done. Next question. I don't have a screen to answer this one. We'll go back to the FPL homepage to answer it. But this question is, who was the most purchased player ahead of game week 12? Which player had the most transfers in? So this is not currently in FPL, it's who had the most going into game week 12. The answer, before too many people look and cheat, is Brian Mbumo. 13 million transfers were made going into game week 12, and the most popular player picked was Brian Mbumo. I'm just going to go through the questions so I don't miss that one, isn't it? Okay, next question. Who is that? By the way, again, I'll just quickly say, if you haven't already, please leave a like rating on the stream and subscribe to the Golden Goal channel. I'd really appreciate it. Let's see if we can do 100 likes by the end of the stream. The answer is Callum Wilson. Someone got that. Poal Tuja, if that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. It's Callum Wilson. I'm amazed that you got that was Callum Wilson. Obviously, he's not a pickable FPL option. Well, maybe. I don't think I'd pick him, though. Too injury prone. And finally, so obviously, I've not had a great game week so far. I shared that at the start of the stream. But exactly how many points am I on in game week 12 so far? You can see my rank there. It's obviously not great. Well, I've had a red arrow. How many points have I scored? The answer is 28 points. So well done, everyone that got that. Go back to my team. I feel like that's half an hour, a quick run through of everything that happened in Game Week 12. Unfortunately, I've got some day job work to do today, so I'm going to go and have to do that now, I think. I don't have a lot of time this morning. So I need to go fire up my real job laptop and get on with that in a second. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Quick little reaction to what happened in Game Week 12. I've got a video out of players to buy and avoid for Game Week 12 if you haven't checked that out yet. Also did a little short, which I think is doing quite well on YouTube at the moment as well. But yeah, all I ask on your way out, if you could leave us a like rating and subscribe to the channel, I'd be really grateful. Let's see if we can do 100 likes on the stream. And yeah, I wish everyone the best of luck for excuse me, for Game Week 12, the remainder of Game Week 12. And please wish me some luck as well, because I really need it. I don't really know what luck I need. I guess I just need Bruno Fernandes to score like 5 goals and no one else around my rank to own him. So that's the kind of luck I need this week. Thanks everyone for your support and watching, and I'll see you in the next one.